Insomniac Games swings back into action with Spider-Man 2, aiming to refine the web-slinging crime-fighting formula they've built over two previous titles. While the game makes notable improvements, it doesn't quite reach the lofty heights expected of a sequel in this acclaimed franchise. The core gameplay of Spider-Man 2 feels more dynamic than its predecessors, thanks to enemies who actively counter your attacks in the way you play, making combat feel more engaging and less predictable. However, there are still moments where the gameplay slips into autopilot, especially during routine encounters or when completing side missions. While the addition of new abilities does diversify combat, there aren't enough to completely shake off any sense of familiarity. The story starts strong, with Acts 1 and 2 delivering excellent build-up and satisfying resolutions. With Act 1 focusing on Kraven the Hunter arriving in New York, he targets enemies from Spider-Man's past, many of whom have reformed and are now living normal lives. Some are brutally murdered by Kraven, while others are rescued, allowing us to learn more about their current lives and struggles. Act 2 shifts the focus to Peter Parker, who bonds with the symbiote, transforming him into a darker, angrier version of himself. This leads to tension as Peter alienates his friends and allies while struggling to control his newfound power. The shift to Venom as the antagonist in Act 3, however, feels rushed. His introduction lacks the emotional weight and narrative depth needed to fully capitalise on his role as one of Spider-Man's most iconic villains. The pacing stumbles, leaving the final act feeling like an undercooked finale to an otherwise solid tale. The soundtrack is on point, perfectly complementing the game's tone and pacing. There's little to criticise here, as it adds to the cinematic experience without overshadowing the gameplay. Playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro, the visuals are undeniably stunning, with detailed environments and character models that showcase the power of the console. However, the performance is underwhelming. Even in 120Hz mode, the frame rate rarely climbs above 60 frames per second, making the PlayStation 5 Pro patch feel like a missed opportunity. It's clear Insomniac prioritised visuals over fluid performance, which may disappoint players seeking a smoother experience. Peter Parker and Miles Morales remain compelling leads, with their personal struggles and growth bringing depth to the story. However, Peter's portrayal occasionally leans too heavily on making him look weak, which can feel frustrating. The Mary Jane sections, while improved from the first game, still feel out of place in a Spider-Man title. Her inclusion in the final mission detracts from the game's focus and leaves a sour note on the climax. Once you've completed the story and side activities, there's little incentive to return. New Game Plus offers some additional perks like ultimate levels, golden gadgets, and the ability to use all suit tech simultaneously, but these features don't add enough to warrant a full replay unless you're a completionist. Spider-Man 2 builds upon its predecessors with better gameplay mechanics and a strong start to its narrative, but it falters in its execution of the final act and its approach to performance on next-gen hardware. While still an enjoyable experience, it doesn't fully stick the landing, leaving room for improvement in the inevitable sequel. Fans of the franchise will appreciate the effort, but others may find it falls short of expectation. Overall, I will give this game a 7.5 out of 10. It's a fun and visually stunning superhero adventure that falls short of its full potential.